Hey everyone, and welcome to Art for this week. We're going to be making an abstract piece of art for today, and it's using the style created by an artist known as Sonia Delaunay. She was a very interesting artist and was one of the first women to have an exhibition at the Louvre, which is a very famous and very important gallery in Paris. So our learning intention for today is we are learning to design an abstract drawing using colour, line and shape, and using primary, secondary and achromatic colours, which are black, white and grey. And it's in the style of Sonia Delaunay. The success criteria are: I can design an abstract artwork based on circles and lines, and I can use primary, secondary and achromatic colours, black, white and grey, in my artwork. So I've included another little video in this video as well, which will give you some background information on Sonia Delaunay and show you some of her artwork, and also it shows you how to make some of that artwork as well, and then I go through the process in a bit of a sped up version also. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what you can create today and just have a go. It's a really interesting and very simple kind of way of creating abstract artwork.
Sonia Delaunay was someone who loved geometric shapes, and she loved to make paintings and costumes and clothing using those shapes. Here is some clothing that she made. It almost looks like a quilt. And here's some clothing and even a car that she painted with geometric shapes. But something that she really loved was circles. And if you look at the paintings that she made of circles, you'll see that she uses what are called concentric circles, where it's one circle inside of another. And sometimes we get to see the full circle, where sometimes we only get to see half of it, almost like the wedge of a lemon in half. Sometimes we'll see what looks like it's starting off to be a full circle, and probably in real life kind of finished up over here. But she likes to kind of keep you on your toes, figuring out what circles are full circles. Like if you even look here, it starts off here as red, but then it goes into a pastel color, which almost makes you think that it's not part of the same circle, it's just colored different on each side. So a lot of times she would start her painting something like this, where she would have circles, but she always liked to put a line down, which would give her the opportunity to be able to paint one color on one side and another color on the other. That's kind of cool. So here you can see she would have started off with a line here and a line here, and then start to make her circles, and even kind of having a little bit of fun here by putting a half circle there. Here she would have had a line going straight down the middle and being able to add her circles after that. Here, I'm sure you're getting good at spotting this now, a line here and a line here. Well, today we're going to be making some artwork. It'll be much smaller than a real Sonia Delaunay painting. You can see here, this is someone in a museum looking at one of her paintings, and you can see how large they are in real life. That's kind of unexpected. But today you're going to be making a smaller version where you're going to be learning how to make circles in a unique way and then coloring it in.
Great amount of information there about Sonia Delaunay and her art. Your equipment you're going to need today is a pencil, a ruler, some coloured pencils and maybe some textures, but you may not need the textures. And you'll also need lots of circular things, so plates, bowls, lids, whatever it might be. First of all, start by tracing around some of the larger circles. This makes it a little bit easier to put the smaller ones on the inside. You can line them up correctly. So you can see I've just decided to use two big ones here, and now I'm going to put a smaller one in the center of that larger circle, and I'm just double checking that it is in the center. It's kind of even on both sides. So you can see I've done quite a few different size circles in there using all those different containers that I collected. The next part you're going to do is actually put those lines through the center of the circles. So you can see I'm going from one edge of the paper right down to the other with this one, and this one I'm going from the edge of the paper but partially just into one of those circles that are there, a little bit differently, and then I'm going to put another one right through those circles as well. So I'm just using 3 lines. You probably don't need any more than 3. Sometimes an easier way to start too is to actually draw the lines first and then do the circles on top of the lines. It is up to you which way you go. Then just start colouring it in. Remember, we're using all those primary and secondary colours, so you can see I'm starting off here with red, and then I also want you to use some black, leave some areas white, and I also used a grey lead pencil because I didn't have a grey coloured pencil. So you can see I've done a fair bit of colouring here now, starting to use my yellow, bit more done, and I'm getting very close to finishing this off. And here it is, almost done, just finishing off this last section. So just a reminder too that I'm looking for that level 4 colouring, the best colouring that you can do. So try and keep it nice and even and take your time. There is a lot of colouring in on here. And remember to leave some of those areas white as well. That'll make it a little bit easier on you too. So here's my finished piece, all done. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can come up with, and remember to post a pic for me as a response.